So it must be known that the Kansas City Chiefs are making a lot of sneaky moves that's going to set them up for the future, and they're honestly doing the unthinkable. And the reason why I say they're doing the unthinkable is because everyone knows I always preach this. The Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl with basically a new squad, right? Rookies everywhere, a new wide receiver core, and they still went out there. They beat the Jaguars, even though Mahomes got hurt, still beat them. Isaiah Pacheco led them to a drive because that's how his rushing skills is. Beat the Cincinnati Bengals, and our whole wide receiver core was basically injured. And you know our wide receiver core is injured when Marcus Kemp is out there making plays. And Mahomes, he was allowing Marcus Kemp to make plays. And not only that, the Kansas City Chiefs also had a very new defense full of rookies. George Karlaftis, Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams. I'm probably missing a Julio Chanel on defense. There's probably a few more I'm missing. And they still was dominating teams, still went 14-3. And I think next season is honestly going to be a better season. I could see us going either probably 15-2 this time, maybe even taking one L, who knows. But the Kansas City Chiefs should be right back at the 1 seed. And I do think that they're going to go straight to the Super Bowl. And the reason why I say this is because Patrick Mahomes is honestly unreal, and I can't see him stopping anytime soon. I know Patrick Mahomes is going to keep this up because he's a very good player, and he's determined, and he's hungry. Then you got Travis Kelce, who's obviously getting up there in age, but he still is making plays. He's still putting up 1,000 yards with double-digit touchdowns. And now you got Justin Ross, who's healthy, a former top 10 pick talent. Now he's healthy, and he's ready to go. Then you got Kadarius Toney, who's going to be probably healthy and ready to go as well. And you have year 2 Sky Moore. You got Richie James, who's a very good signing coming off his best year with the New York Giants, and Daniel Jones on the center. So it's looking very, very good for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they're in a very good position. And then you have Rashee Rice, who's another very good player, but he's a rookie, so it's going to take time for him to develop in Andy Reid's offense. And you got Jody Fortson, Noah Gray, Blake Bell, so the tight end sets is still going to be very effective. And I just love what the Kansas City Chiefs are doing, building a nice rushing attack with Isaiah Pacheco, Jack McKinnon, 2 running backs that can do different things. And then you have the Derek Prince. Special teams are still on point. Harrison Butker, a very good kicker, top 3 kicker in my opinion. Tommy Townsend, best punter in the league. So the special teams is on point. John Ross, I don't know if he's going to make the team, but I know Kadarius Toney, I don't want him returning punts. So somebody's got to return them punts. And yeah, man, Chiefs are in a very great spot to succeed. Having a top 15 defense is going to bring something different to the Chiefs, and it's going to give them a different play style because Patrick Mahomes not got to play hero ball every game, but it also gives them an opportunity to get the ball more, have more time on the clock, and that's just going to stat pad Patrick Mahomes' stats even more. So in my opinion, I think Mahomes is going to have a better season than last season, and I get that people say voter fatigue when it comes to MVP, but I don't really think you're going to be able to do that with Patrick Mahomes because his stats just blows everyone out the water. So it automatically just makes you want to give him the MVP because if you give it to somebody else, it's going to be a clear robbery. And, of course, the NFL don't want to make it a clear robbery. Now, that's why I think the Chiefs is going to be set up for success for a long time because we have the best quarterback in the league. And in my opinion, it's honestly by far. I don't see nobody in the NFL at quarterback that's better than Patrick Mahomes. And he's something special we've never seen, man. I think he's a better talent than Brady. He's going to be better than Tom Brady. It just makes you think like the Chiefs are really doing the unthinkable. Getting all these rookies, they're about to be in their year 2 seasons. They're about to be in their second seasons. So all these rookies are going to improve. And then we bring in a bunch of new rookies to fill in our defense. And another thing, this offensive line also has been improving. Getting Donovan Smith, who's an upgrade over Orlando Brown. Jawan Taylor, who's clearly an upgrade over Andrew Wiley. Or if they want to reverse it, it's still the same results. Jawan is an upgrade over Orlando Brown, and Donovan is definitely an upgrade over Andrew Wiley. So the Kansas City Chiefs are building their offensive line as well. Creed Humphrey, Joe Thuney, Trey Smith, Jawan Taylor, and Donovan Smith. In my opinion, that's a very good offensive line. I can see the Kansas City Chiefs winning a lot of games with that offensive line. And obviously the Chiefs are going to win a lot of games because I said we're going to go 15-2. But I could see them blowing out teams because Mahomes with a very good offensive line, he doesn't got to get pressured anymore, and a defense that's saving him every time, and they're getting stops. Not every time, but a defense that gets stops for the most part. That's something Patrick Mahomes has never had. And when you give him Mahomes a gift like that, you just have to expect some record-breaking stats. Last year, he broke the total yard record, but this year, I think he's going to be going for the passing record. I know I mentioned Jody Fortson in this video, but if you didn't see my video on Jody Fortson, you have to watch that video because I do think he's going to be a special type of weapon for us because I like his play style. And at the end of the day, he's just a very great player, you know. So I can't wait to see what he does with the Kansas City Chiefs. And, yeah. Now, when you have all these red zone threats, we're getting more red zone threats now. Justin Ross is going to be playing. He's definitely a red zone threat. Kadarius Toney, obviously a red zone threat. McKinnon, hell of a red zone threat. Jody Fortson should be used more as a red zone threat. And Travis Kelce is a red zone threat. So I could see this being a year where Mahomes goes for 45 to 50 touchdowns. I think Patrick Mahomes could throw for 50 touchdowns because if y'all didn't know, Patrick Mahomes gets better every single year. I said every single year. And then Tyreek Hill leaving and the Chiefs being a more versatile offense with different dudes that could do different things. I feel like that elevated Patrick Mahomes' game and it made him only smarter. And now the Chiefs knows that, so they're making these players do different type of things and using all their abilities in many different ways possible. You know, Travis Kelce, Jody Fortson, they're different. You know, all these players are different. Kadarius Toney is different than Scott Moore. Rashee Rice is different than Justin Ross. All these players are very versatile, and they're very good at what they do in their own ways. Even the offensive line is versatile. The defense is versatile. So the Kansas City Chiefs is all about versatility. And it's just a lot of things to be excited for moving forward. Like I said, to see all these, I just can't wait for September, man. Even the preseason, I just can't wait for August, September. Because you got all these weapons, and, you know, they're very good players. You just want to see what they're going to do, what they're going to bring to the table when the time comes. And you want to see them, you know, you just want to see them play. You want to see what they're going to do. You want to see how they're going to improve. MVS proven deep threat. Forgot to talk about him. And Isaiah Pacheco, I want to see if he's going to really have a monster season. A lot of people are starting to say Isaiah Pacheco is overrated, but in my opinion, he is definitely not overrated. I think Isaiah Pacheco is a very good player, and he's rated perfectly. And Jerick McKinnon, I want to see what he's going to do. Is he going to play the same, or is that just a fluke? I doubt it's a fluke because the way he does it with barely any effort when he's scoring these touchdowns. And that's just the connection between him and Patrick Mahomes. That's another thing. Mahomes said he loves Kadarius Toney. He loves Justin Ross. So building a good connection with Patrick Mahomes could help you a lot because once you have chemistry with him and you're clicking, he's going to always look for you, and he's going to set you up in the best places possible to help you make a play or create a big play or extend the play, you know? Because that's what Patrick Mahomes does, and that's what an improviser do. And he's a very good quarterback, and there's no doubt about it. And like I said, the Chiefs are just doing the unthinkable, man, with all these weapons and all these new additions. It's going to be a very good year in Kansas City, and it's time to run it back. I just can't wait to see it. It's been your boy Chiefs Priority, and I'm out, man. Peace.